Morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at your weekend, or not your weekend forecast, your winter storm forecast for today, this afternoon, through tonight. This is your Thursday morning update, and so storm does look like it's definitely going to hit us. There's going to be some mixing and a wide variety of amounts of snow, but also the pattern's looking much more wintry. If you miss out on this storm, there's definitely at least one, maybe two more storms over the next week or so that are going to give us a chance at snow. Those storms also have some mixing potentials and things like that, but we're going to worry about those as we get towards them. That would be like probably into next Monday, Sunday night to Monday, and then sometime midweek next week. But that's not really what you're here for. You're here to hear about what's going on with this storm. And so we can see, here's our primary low. Here's moisture surging up the east coast. And you can already see we have detached a lot of this best forcing way away from our original low pressure system here. We're kind of got a little bit of a low pressure system kind of developing here, but eventually we're going to develop one off the coast here that's going to help hold in just enough cold air to keep most of us mostly snow. It's not a huge snowmaker, not a tremendous, it's going to move through pretty quickly, the heaviest band at least, and then kind of linger as layer snow that will kind of will add up tomorrow, but definitely enough precipitation that it's definitely going to cause some problems on the roads and things like that. If we take a look at radar, first couple things you can notice on this is also the National Weather Service's surface maps on here, and you can see this kind of front here, which is sort of more just a boundary than a front, but that is allowing some cooler air to seep in from Canada. There's a little bit of cooler air here across across Quebec and eastern Ontario, and a little bit of that is just filtering in just enough, because as you can see, there's not a lot of snow yet on the eastern part of this storm. The snowback associated with the parent low, but all of this snow back here, or all of this right now is rain, but it's hitting this slightly cooler air, and as we get development off the coast, it won't allow the surge of warm air to come in really aloft or anything like that for the most part, and that's what's going to keep us mostly as a chance of some snow. But temperatures are very marginal, so a lot of places in the low 30s are like 28, 29 degrees this morning. So part of the problem is what surface temperatures are going to be, because that kind of is going to allow for some mixing with rain for those surface temperatures. And some places in the valley locations, particularly Route 7, particularly like a place like Bennington, is going to stay rain most of the night tonight, I think. And then they're going to get snow tomorrow as the lighter snow moves through. That's going to be this portion of the system as we go back across the country here. If we take a look closer in, you can see, like I said, this is all falling as rain now. It's some pretty heavy rain bands in here. This first batch, it's going to take a while to get to us. It's kind of eating into the cooler air. Although the air is not that dry here, but there is some dry air essentially aloft, and so it's going to take a little bit of time for the precipitation to eat away at that. But as we head into this afternoon, we will be getting into some of this precipitation, and it will be changing to snow as it heads in our direction. Like I said, except for some of those lower elevations. Also, later on during the storm, I think we'll start as snow in a place like Brattleboro and Bellows Falls, but I think some warmer air will creep up during the overnight tonight, will creep up the Connecticut River Valley, and that'll hold down some precipitation or some snow totals also along the Connecticut River Valley. Not an unusual experience at all. Also, you'll be a little bit shadowed from this west-east motion of the snow, and tomorrow when we get more of the kind of westerly snow, as the snow kind of creeps across areas in the Connecticut River Valley, get shielded or shadowed from that a little bit as well, and that holds down the snowfall amounts in the Connecticut River Valley. But still some measurable snow. Everybody's going to get some measurable snow, I think, out of this. The only place that I'd be a little not 100% certain about that would be a place like Bennington, where I think you're only going to get maybe a couple inches of snow, but it's possible that you kind of get skunked if temperatures are just a bit warmer than I'm thinking. Here's the synoptic setup. Here's your low pressure system by this afternoon. Here's kind of that redeveloping low, and you can watch the warm front, where the warm front is. Basically, just south of that, we're going to develop another low pressure system that's going to keep the warm front from surging north, which is why we're not changing to rain like we have out of so many of the other storms. I published this yesterday afternoon, but this is basically a look at, I think, what is going to happen. And then by tomorrow, here's what's happening. Our low pressure system, our primary low, is way out to sea, but the upper level, the apparent low for this storm, is going to have to work its way through here, and with that will come some precipitation, certainly. And so we're going to have to keep an eye on just exactly how much precipitation. I think 2 to 4 inches of snow out of this part of the system for basically everybody. If that's where Bennington is going to get its 2 inches of snow. The rest of us also get a couple inches. Valley locations, couple inches. Mountains 2, maybe even 3, 4, maybe even 5 inches of snow for some of the ski areas and things like that as this portion of the storm rolls through. Let's take a look at the timing. So things are already kind of ongoing down here. For most of southern Vermont, we're looking in the 4 to 7 p.m. range. Down in Bennington, you might start as early as like 3. Most of us actually are probably getting something between 3 and 6 p.m. essentially. But that's sort of a look at if you're traveling across the Northeast today, when the precipitation gets in here. Basically, all of New England except for far northern Maine is snowing by 1 a.m. this morning, or tomorrow morning, I should say. And then if we take a look at the precipitation type, places, this is a general for the storm. In the blue, mostly snow. So a lot of southern Vermont is mostly snow. Like I said, we're going to get some creeping mix. That doesn't mean this will be all snow. There could be some mixing in all of these locations, some sleet pellets and things like that, particularly before midnight tonight. I think after midnight, all the areas in mostly snow change over to pure snow. It's some areas with some creeping warmth up the Connecticut River Valley, and you may hold on to some of the rain slash sleet over in Bennington for a little bit longer before you change over to snow. Certainly by daybreak, everybody's all snow entirely. And then if we take a look at snowfall forecast, this is hasn't changed that much from yesterday. I think 6 to 8 inches, a general 6 to 8 inches for the higher elevations of Bennington and Windham County. Windsor, the higher elevations of Windsor and Rutland County, 7 to 10 inches, so just a little bit more snow there. It'll be a little fluffier. I think that's where you get probably maximize out of this, except for the higher terrain of the White Mountains across New Hampshire. Generally, 5 to 7 for the for a lot of the foothills and things like this through southern Vermont, and up east of if you head east out of Rutland, here in the 5 to 7 range. Rutland itself, I think 3 to 5 inches. Like I said, there's Bennington down there in that 2 to 3 inch range. Brattleboro 3 to 5 inch range as well, as we creep some of that up the Connecticut River a little bit. But essentially a pretty good swath of snow, especially the areas that see all snow. It's not going to be a huge hitter, and like I said, the storms that are to come could potentially give us more snow than this. So definitely we're turning a pattern that looks a lot more like we are headed towards some actual winter weather. Let's take a look at the details. Precipitation starts between 3 and 6 p.m. this afternoon. Moderate to heavy precipitation overnight tonight, with lighter snow through the day tomorrow. Snow will be heavy and hard to move, so take it easy. Everybody's going to be getting kind of heavy, wet snow. This will be good snowman making snow out of the snow. And then travel will be difficult, especially this evening through tomorrow morning. I think with some of the holding off and the fact that we might get a bit of a break in the precipitation in the morning, it is possible that some kids just have a delayed opening in the morning, but no school is definitely a possibility as well. I think most schools, with the exception of maybe some schools in the Route 7 corridor, will probably definitely have some sort of delay or no school tomorrow. So you definitely want to be prepared for that as parents and as teachers and things like that. Okay, that's where things stand now. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel before, I would really encourage you to do so. Helps make sure you don't miss any of these videos, especially when I do extra videos like this. And also, if you're interested in helping out support the channel financially, I have a patron page that allows for that to happen. It helps support me be able to have the equipment that I have, the subscriptions I have to the different weather sites, and also just helps make sure that these things happen. So I really appreciate that, and I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons who help support what I do here. I will be back tomorrow morning with your weekend forecast, which will include a little bit of this and also a bit of a preview of our storm, which is going to come through Sunday night into Monday. That'll also looks like it's going to bring some pretty significant winter weather to us. All right, thanks. I'll be back tomorrow morning.